What's up everyone, it's Scotty with MoneyVest. So in this video, we are going to be talking about one stock that is still underappreciated, not really undervalued, but definitely underappreciated. And it is going to have a lot of potential in 2024. And yes, we're talking about next year because they do have new products that are going to be coming out for one of the most trending, hottest market trends at the moment. So if you haven't guessed already, it is going to be my love of the market, AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This is a stock that obviously I've owned. I've had, huge profits on, then I've exited the positions, and now I'm trying to rebuild and restart my position in this company once again at better and better valuation. That's exactly what we're going to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord, Patreon is going to be down below. There is a 16% annual discount available till the end of this month if you want to take advantage of our MoneyVest community. 16% available for 4 more days to get access to all the alerts, all the members only private videos, intrinsic value spreadsheets. Everything's going to be included with the link down below. So the reason why I'm so excited about it is because AMD plans AI chip debut by year end, and they are going to be challenging the top of the top, right? The Nvidia, of course. Nvidia is at the top of the ladder when it comes to artificial intelligence chips, of course, GPUs. And this basically came out back in June. So AMD reveals new AI chip to challenge NVIDIA's dominance. And AMD hasn't moved. NVIDIA has literally just gone to the moon and back, right? It's gone parabolic. AMD is still on Earth. It is still has not budged, right? And I believe in her. I believe in this person, Lisa Su. She's been CEO of AMD for a very long time. She's turned the company around. She's made it more valuable than Intel. She's literally put AMD on the map when it comes to chip design and the entire, literally the data server market, right? She's reshaped the entire, the landscape and of course the dynamics of the company. So I strongly do believe that as long as she's there, as long as she's the one running the show, there's a high probability that they don't make it easy for NVIDIA because there's a lot of market to be capitalized when it comes to artificial intelligence. And here's the thing, right? That this was something a lot of people don't understand, is that once there's a lot of return on capital, when the capital return is really high, this was actually discussed in the book, Little Book That Beats the Market by Joel Greenblatt, and he talks about is that if an industry has a very high return on capital, others are going to see it and they're going to enter that space. There is going to be competition until the return on capital is driven down to an equilibrium, right? To give you a simple example, let's just say that you basically start an ice cream store, right? You sell ice cream. It's a very simple example, right? So it's going to be easier to understand. Let's say that you sell ice creams, right? In a town that doesn't have ice cream, right? There's nobody else selling ice cream in that town. So you obviously are the first one there and you control the majority of the market. And your profit, your return on profit, it's really high because you can demand higher prices because you're the only one. If other people see that and be like, okay, so this person's selling ice cream and making a ton of money, the return on capital is really high, let me do the same thing, right? Let me enter this space because there's literally no competition right now. If I go in, at least I can squeeze something out. More and more people start doing that, and as there's more competition emerging, what happens? Return on capital is driven down to a more equilibrium where the demand and supply kind of meet together, and that's your new equilibrium. Now, I'm not saying that it's an easy business to compete in, like selling ice cream. NVIDIA has definitely got a significant moat, right? It's got its own advantage. But if there's any company that can compete with NVIDIA in this, is AMD. In my opinion, they are the next best alternative when it comes to providing very, very high quality chips, GPUs. An MI300X will start shipping to some customers later this year. That's going to be the most advanced GPU for artificial intelligence. And AMD's announcements obviously represent the strongest challenge to NVIDIA, which obviously dominates over 80% of the market share for AI chips at the moment. So let me know if you think there's any other companies out there that can compete with NVIDIA in AI. Let me know. I'm all ears. If there's any companies, I would love to know, love to analyze, see where the valuation's at, see where they're sitting right now, and then we can kind of formulate a plan on where we can take advantage of them. But for me, I think AMD is the next best option when it comes to competition within the AI space. So moving forward, this right here, obviously is revenue. We don't have to go over the fundamentals too much. I've done extensive analysis on this company already. Again, $5.3 billion, growing that to over $23.6 billion over the recent couple years. Actually, the last year, basically, the profitability struggled a little bit on a gap adjusted basis because of the acquisition of Xilinx. And that's as the company's kind of integrating their business into their own, there has been some gap adjustments, amortization, write-offs. And because of that, of course, operating profits and net profits have definitely struggled. And the valuation is perceived to be really higher when in reality it is still trading at a decent valuation. So when you've got shares outstanding, that's another big drawback for the company right now, AMD, is that they do issue a lot of shares, except NVIDIA is doing a $25 billion share rebuyback, which they announced more recently on their earnings. But nonetheless, I mean, the fundamentals have been very strong. You've got a 45% gross profit margin. Net margin's been over 11.5, closer to 12%. We got, levered free cash flow margin 9%. Return on common equity, assets, and capital also pretty strong. And these numbers are negative because of that Xilinx acquisition, as I pointed out, because of those gap adjustments and the profitability not being there. But if you take a look at valuation again, you are going to see some pretty high multiples, 7.5, 7.2, 40, 37 times, again, on a non-GAAP basis. And this is exactly one of the reasons why I'm expecting, lower multiples, even the growth rate's pretty high for AMD right now. So I'm going to go with a lower multiple. We're going to do our intrinsic value analysis. I'll show you guys exactly where my fair value sits on Advanced Micro Devices at the moment. Balance sheet, again, very strong, $6.3 billion of cash with $2.8 billion of debt. So they are sitting on negative net debt of $3.4 billion. And of course, we do have a current ratio, quick ratio that's very strong at 1:2, and debt to free cash flow sitting at 3.5. At the moment, with EPS sitting at $2.75, expected to grow to over $9 per share. That's a very strong growth rate. As you can see, that we are expected to grow 51%, 26%, 27%, 35%. So very, very strong potential for Advanced Micro Devices once again. So going over to our calculation, that's going to be a just under 35% growth for Advanced Micro Devices over the next 4 to 5 years. And that's actually being more on the conservative side of things, right? If AI obviously takes off, NVIDIA's projected earnings are over 50% over the next several years, and I'm going conservative there with 30%. Even if I go 25% for the AMD, right, conservative expectations over the next 4 to 5 years, 25%, giving them a 25 times P multiple. Let's just go with 12% discount rate, 10% margin of safety, and I'm going to go with 5% share dilution because again, their share dilution has actually been over 8.8% over the last several years, actually. So we're going to go back to how many years? So since 2013 to 2022. Yeah, that's been about 8.82%. Doesn't really change much, so 8.82%. So if you go with these sort of expectations, we come down to our fair value of just under $84 per share. And of course, yesterday was a brutal sell-off down to $101. So we're actually not that far off, right? 16% more downside needed for AMD to be trading at its intrinsic value without even accounting for the AI boom that this company could have with the competition that they're going to basically serve for NVIDIA. So in my opinion, lots of potential, lots of unlocked potential, and I do trust the guidance and the leadership of Lisa Su. Even if we go with, let's say, lower numbers, right? I would be a lot more comfortable sub $80, right? $77 at 25% growth, 23 times P multiple. If you want to be even more conservative, you could go down to 23% growth, 23.23. You could go down to 21.21. It's going to be $60. I mean, this right here. $59.94, like sub $60 would be like chef's kiss. It would be perfect. It would, like, I would be selling puts left and right on Advanced Micro Devices at sub $60 once we get that announcement on AI GPUs and of course new shipments and the feedback. Most importantly, the feedback from the customers, the developers, people that are actually using AMD's products and services, of course, the chips that they're going to be using. What is the feedback, right? Can we expect AMD to be a very strong competitor to NVIDIA's GPUs? That's the real question at the end of the day. And if they can, then I think there's a lot of potential unlocked for Advanced Micro Devices. So that's where I stand with this company. And I think yesterday, pretty much sold off almost 7%. So pretty brutal day for Advanced Micro Devices. And this right here is the next support that I'm already, watching for Advanced Micro Devices. As I mentioned to you guys before, very nice consistent uptrend of higher highs and higher lows. We can even kind of pull this back a little bit more, or maybe not. So that right there is the higher low, and of course the higher high within which Advanced Micro Devices has been trading in, right? So this is the higher high, higher low, and right now we're starting to see a little bit of a breakdown below that support. Next target and next support is going to be $80. Sub 80, sub even 60 would be ideal for Advanced Micro Devices. And I'm going to start selling some puts as soon as it starts trading below $100. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about Advanced Micro Devices? Are you buying, selling, holding? What are your thoughts? on this company. I would love to know from you guys as well. As always, if you enjoyed this, found it helpful, make sure that you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Link to our Discord, Patreon is going to be down below. 16% annual discount, like I said, expires later this month, so 3 to 4 more days left. As always, happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.